markets toss around, or it's part of a derivatives formula, or it's part of someone speculating on currencies. It's not serving the private sector in the sense of providing that reliable unit of account so you can make plans. And under a gold standard, you did have that stability, and I think that's what's missing. And so I like the idea of a gold standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. The point is, do you have a unified money system so that when you talk about the international marketplace, everyone is playing on a level monetary playing field? And it's very important to have a rules-based approach, and that's why I'm advocating.
The MOTB is right around the corner. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops, the great millstone, and salutations to the elect. It's going to be a quick video. I'm going to read this real quick. This was a post or a tweet put up by Judy Shelton, which I'm going to get her background in a quick second for those who don't know. But she mentions that gold-backed treasury bonds should be introduced on July 4th, 2026. And we keep mentioning from the Apostle Torah on down, July 4th, 2026, which is 250 years since the birth of Babylon, since the creation or the formation of the Illuminati. You know, that's their date, 1776. All right. But anyway, an empire typically lasts around that time, 250 years. So 250 years marking the birthplace or the birth date of Babylon the Great. This proposal was mentioned by Judy Shelton, who's a former economic advisor of the previous Trump administration. But let's see, excuse me, let's see if they take this and run with it. But just the simple fact that this is being talked about is heavy. So gold-backed treasury bonds should be introduced on July 4th, 2026 as a signal to the world of America's leadership towards fiscal discipline and a stable monetary order as the appropriate platform for international trade. Now, when this MOTB is made mandatory, it's going to come in a way, or come in a sense of rescue, rescuing the dollar, rescuing the U.S. economy. You know what I'm saying? And I won't be surprised if they do attempt, and I mentioned this in the previous video, I won't be surprised if they do attempt to say they're going to back it with possibly gold, like all the other nations are doing, right? They trading with gold bricks, they dealing with gold. So why wouldn't Babylon attempt to do the same? And it's no coincidence that they went down and seized Venezuela, which, I agree with Apostle Ramlab. That whole thing was a psyop, a psychological operation that did actually happen, but the way they went about it was, it's all, set up and staged. Nothing happened in politics without it being planned. Apostle mentioned that in the video I was watching earlier today, I believe it was, that he put it up today or yesterday. But nonetheless, Venezuela, rich in oil, of course, as we know that the highest or the most abundant in crude oil, gold also, in silver, earth minerals, etc. So I won't be surprised if it was all staged, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But now Babylon got all this oil and gold and everything they seized from Venezuela, that they could say that they could use to help back this new currency. But before I get ahead of myself, let me just replay this video that this lady mentions, or says.
Or it's part of a derivatives formula, or it's part of someone speculating on currencies. It's not serving the private sector in the sense of providing that reliable unit of account so you can make plans. And under a gold standard, you did have that stability, and I think that's what's missing. And so I like the idea of a gold standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. The point is,
it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. All right? We know what's meant by that. We know what's meant by that. And they also saying that Venezuela has double the amount of Bitcoin stash than the U.S. have, which is a lot of money. All right, but anyway, all of that was all introduced pretty much to get the world prepared for digital currencies. This whole cryptocurrencies, all these different types of cryptocurrencies. It was all in preparation to get people on board with cryptocurrencies at the end of the day. So she says, mentions backing this new system up with buy gold in a cryptocurrency type of way. We know what that's talking about. We know what's meant by that in a very cryptocurrency type of way. So, like I said, it's gonna be quick. I just wanted to mention this, but Babylon the Great in July 4th. The birth date of this whole wicked empire, these elites, their New World Order, their the Illuminati and all of that. So, we definitely entering into some beautiful times. So real quick, let me see something. Judy Shelton, she says, let me just read something. Judy Shelton views cryptocurrency and digital currencies, particularly those backed by physical assets like gold, stable coins, as potentially healthy and promising way to achieve a stable monetary system similar to the virtues of a gold standard. Shelton view on cryptocurrencies and digital assets. Shelton advocates for competition in monetary sphere, seeing the challenge that private cryptocurrencies pose to the US dollar as a very healthy development that can lead to a better product. It says she explicitly opposed a Federal Reserve digital currency, which she believes would create a monopoly and be a terrible outcome. She has suggested that a gold standard could be implemented in a very cryptocurrency way using digital means to guarantee the fixed value for the dollar or other currencies. So pretty much go back to how it used to be, but like she said in that interview, in a back to a future type of way. So at the end of the day, this MOTB is going to come and it's going to be like a save the day, save the economy. But that's all lining up with biblical prophecy at the end of the day. Of course, Revelation 13 come to mind, but also something else that just came to my mind, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and 9 or 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. Her judgment reaches unto the heavens and is lifted up to the sky. So Babylon is falling. America is destroyed. America is being destroyed right before our eyes. Esau is laying a snare for the world, but he's going to fall in the same snare that he's creating for himself. All right, because once he get this MOTB rolling, that's when World War III is going to pop off. Of course, the Jacob's trouble, all hell breaking loose, so on and so forth. But then that's ultimately when World War III is going to pop off and Yahweh Shai come back. So all of this taking balm for pain and all of that and all of this is ways to fix America's worsening economy, which it cannot be fixed. These are all temporary ointments and bombs and certain ways to try to keep it going, kicking the can down the road, but for a little moment. But ultimately, it's going to fall. It's going to be destroyed because of its iniquities. And that's what the Heavenly Father has got prepared for this wicked kingdom. And of course, in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9, it says, Revelation 13, I don't know why I said 9, but hey, that's the spirit. If any man have an ear, let him hear. All right, if any man have an ear, let him hear. And now that I'm going to jump down to verse 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, because people got ears on their head, but can they hear? That's in Isaiah when the Lord said, make the hearts of these people fat, make their ears heavy and dull, so they can't understand, convert, and be healed, because the Lord don't want everybody to be healed. Most Israelites are just created to die at the end of the day. And it is what it is. I pray it ain't me. So he causeth all, both small, great, rich, poor, free, and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So ultimately, this digital system that's getting ready to get rolled out, this digital system is getting ready to roll out. nothing. There's nothing nobody could do about it. I mean, it's gonna be like a system update, an involuntary system update. So you gonna opt out by not being part of the system. That's the only way you can opt out. So when you do opt out, when we do opt out, it's not like we will still be able to use cash because it's going to be a system update. The old software is just not going to work anymore. It's just like a computer. You got to do a system update. The old software doesn't work. Like you can't do anything with it. You can't do nothing with that laptop unless you get a system update. So you have cash lingering around, but it ain't gonna mean shit because everything is going to be updated to this digital currency. And eventually, the end all be all to get everybody trapped will be implementing that radio frequency identification chip, which is the mark of the beast, spoken about in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, verse 16, which I'm reading right now. So everybody, verse 16 covers everybody is going to have to get it. All right, or everybody will be forced or bribed or, backs against the wall in order to buy and sell. But just like when they introduced the juice, people felt like they were forced. People talk about I was forced to do it. I was forced to do it. But hey, listen, you're gonna either consent to the beast system or you're not. All right. So unless they put a gun to your head and juke you with that syringe, then that's that. And if that does happen, then an individual wouldn't have been part of the elect. Because the Lord says in the book of Revelation, 3rd chapter, that He will, because you kept the word of my patience, I will keep you from the hour of temptation. So this is the hour of temptation when all your financial way of living, so to speak, or your financial information, everything about you, your daily life will have to be transitioned into that MOTB. So that's when you walk away, you forsake it all and trust in the Lord. And that's going to be the hour of temptation. That's when it's going to be totally throwing all your trust in the Lord, as you should be doing now. But these people that don't believe in the Lord, don't believe in Yahweh Shad, and the Lord ain't gonna keep them from this great day. Verse 17, and that no man might borrow so, save he that have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding. You gotta have that spiritual understanding. All right, to understand, you gotta have that oil. So count the number of the beast, for it is number of a man. His number is 603 And we here at GMS Great Millstone, from the apostles on down, know exactly what this is, what it's talking about. We talk about it all the time. We push it out there. We blow the trumpet. We let you know. And those who don't want to take heed, that's on them. That is on them. So, I just wanted to put that out there. This woman, Judy Shelton, advocate for returning the U.S. dollar to a gold standard. And then, you saw that. I mean, that could be a way he tried to, like I mentioned in previous videos, that have the world regain trust in the dollar. And because everybody else is doing it. BRICS is doing it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is doing it. China, which that's part of BRICS. But these big countries, they're hoarding gold. They're hoarding gold, all right? They're hoarding gold for this new reset that's coming. So a great reset is coming. And Yahweh Shemiel Shai will, like the scriptures tell us in Romans, that don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed. So as this world is conforming into the beast system as a whole, we are transforming out of this biatch, and just moving in the spirit of Yahweh Shemiel Shai and waiting for that day to come, because that day is near, bros. That day is near. Abaratazah, Trump be that dude to implement this thing, which it looks like it. It very well look like it, bro. It look like it, real talk. And then bring in that World War III, and then Yahweh Shemiel Shai, Adonai Ratazah, us that are here remain to the very end, endure, and be delivered. So I just want to make that quick. All praise to Yahweh Shemiel Shai, double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect. Shalom.